There's nothing worse than having a lack of confidence because you ate a ghost pepper.
Right. I already don't have confidence. So
Exactly.
You don't need any help. You know what I mean? Like
That's how the podcast starts right there.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling. That was part of the podcast. That's just going to be in there. We're just going to roll
intro?
with that. Yeah.
nice.
Grab the KY, get yourself ready. You got some sliding to do. Hanging out with TL and the boys, maybe some critters too. So get your phone and get on the gram. You know where to find the man. Slide into the DMs. Girls on your mind. Slide into the DMs. Oh, baby, take your time. Slide, slip it on in. Here we go again. DM Monday.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 20 of the DM Monday podcast. I'm Trey Lewis, and no Burrell today. He's hosting around right around the corner, but got my co-host here, Trey Bonner.
what's up, guys?
TNT, baby. Bam. How you been doing, man?
Dude, I've been solid. What about you? You've been
I
on
feel
the
like
road.
we haven't hung out or like even talked on the phone or like just been friends in a while.
I know.
It's always like, hey, let me get these liners. Let me get this. Let me
Yeah,
get
it's like
that.
I text you, and then I
Yeah.
text you, and then you send it back, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
thanks.
All right, thanks. Talk to you later.
Now you've been busy. You were on the road.
I was
You were
on
in
the road.
You were in
Well, we went to-
Laughlin and
So
Sparks.
it was miserable. We played, it was like miserable traveling. But it was also beautiful at the same time. So we played in Tuscaloosa at Rounders, which was fun. And then Ben had his baby. So he wasn't with us. We had Colin with us. Have you met Colin?
I still haven't met Colin.
Colin's funny. He's a funny guy. He just says things that takes people by surprise, but he's a fun guy. But so we had him with us, and we played the show, and then Alex got my truck. We drove to Birmingham. We slept in the parking lot at the Birmingham airport for like an hour. Got on the airplane, flew to Reno, got out of there, left the airport in our rental car. Played the show, slept, and then drove 8 hours across the desert, which is like, and you think 8 hours, oh, we got to drive 8 hours. Like, that sucks. But it was really cool. Like, when are you going to get a chance to drive across the desert in a car? You know, like Cooper Allen opened both the shows, which
that's
was
awesome.
really cool because some of y'all don't know this, but we have a song coming out together in January. Me, him, and Thomas Mack. So it was cool just to kind of like see his live set and like, you know, just talk to him. But we were talking about that drive because he had to make the same drive too. But I was like, dude, one day we're going to be in a bus, an airplane, or like whatever. Like we're going to look back on this. Like, when do you get the chance to ride in a van or a car across the desert? Like, it was really cool.
What did they take a Sprinter out there?
I think they were in some kind of rental thing. I don't know, because they flew out there. I mean, they were full band. Their band's really good. Their drummer's freaking awesome. Mcilwain, you need to practice the set.
Our set or Cooper Allen set?
Oh, well, either one, you know.
As long as you're practicing, that's really all
just
that
kidding.
matters.
I don't know what anybody heard Friday night. Or Thursday. I played fine.
I saw you carry a beer on stage. Were you drinking beer Friday?
Nope, sat and under the
Thursday?
stage.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Nope, sat
With
and under
that
the
beer?
stage. I didn't have to go back downstairs after the show.
Oh, okay, cool. I wasn't judging you.
Thinking ahead. Warm beer.
So we drive across the desert. We play the show in Laughlin, which Laughlin is like an hour and a half from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds me of like Myrtle Beach. So like kind of really trashy, you know?
Dirty as hell.
And we played the last Kid Rock show. In case you didn't know, I've been on tour with Kid Rock for the last 6 months. We played the last show, and then right next to our hotel smelled like kitty litter, Febreze, and cigarette smoke.
But I heard there was a bunch of awesome fans at the hotel as well.
Oh yeah. I was like stopping and taking pictures with people. And but anyways, we decided to go to In-N-Out afterwards to celebrate, and I got the
triple.
Well, I got the protein.
Oh, nice, with the lettuce
bun.
wrap?
Yeah. And we're like walking through the hotel. We run into Cooper's TM and his guitar player, and we like talk to them for a minute. And I'm just like, my stomach's just like, blowing. And I'm just like, all right, I feel the shit coming on. And we get back to the hotel. I'm laying on the bed, and I just decided to fart, and I shit my pants like through the underwear, through the pants onto the bed, straight up shit my pants.
Did you throw them away?
Huh?
Do you throw them away, bring them home,
I
wash
threw them
them?
away. And the funny thing is they gave us 2 hotel rooms, but like me and Alex always ended up staying in the same hotel room.
Yeah.
So I was like, Alex, get up, get your shit. We're moving hotel rooms.
That's great.
So we just moved over there. So that was fun.
That's so funny.
What'd you do this weekend?
I didn't really do a whole lot. I went to the Vanderbilt Ole Miss game. That was fun. Played a good first half.
Oh, yeah.
Really just stayed home, edited content.
Oh, was that game here?
It was here.
Oh, yeah.
It was
They
fun.
blew y'all's ass out after that.
The first half was good, but the second half was just trash.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was ASCAP or BMI or there was a bunch of industry people. Somebody had the tailgate spots like Joy Beth. Like everybody we knew was there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the Tennessee game will have already happened by the time this episode comes out, but I'm pretty nervous about Bama, Tennessee. But, like, if they beat us,
What's Tennessee ranked?
I don't know, but they're undefeated.
Yeah,
They're up there. I know Ole Miss was like 9.
Yeah, they beat the fuck out of LSU.
Yeah. Yeah, but LSU's not good.
No.
But, I mean, I'll be excited. I'll be not excited, but I'll be okay if they beat us. It's like
Mental
you
peace.
haven't beat us in 15 years. So, like, if you beat us this season.
Where it's in Knoxville, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because Jasper
Nealon.
asked me to go, and I was like, dude, I don't think so.
Is he a Bama fan or no?
He is,
Yeah.
but he's got like some work stuff. He's like, we can go and I can work. And I was like, I think I'm good. I don't
Yeah.
want to drive that far on an off weekend.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Y'all going to New York.
I'm kind of pumped. The Kid Rock tour's over.
Oh, really?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a experience of a lifetime. I mean,
Made a bunch of cool friends too.
made a bunch of cool friends. I can't say enough about his crew and him, honestly. One night he had the guy that owned In-N-Out to the show, and they brought an In-N-Out truck. So after the show, everybody got
That's awesome.
free
Where was that
In-N-Out.
at? California?
That was the weekend before last, so wherever we were.
You're in
I don't remember.
California.
Yeah, California. Yeah, so that was cool.
That's wild. I can't even imagine an In-N-Out truck.
Yeah, it was cool. It had like where you get your drinks.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
fun.
outside.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I got something weird going on my shoulder. I'm not really sure what it is.
See your
but-
chiropractor or something?
Yeah, I went and saw a new doctor. He was like, he had me like laying on the table and like pulling my leg and like don't let me push your leg, and then he'd be like, all right, now stick your tongue out to the left and don't let me push your leg, and I would like push it and I'd have my tongue out and it would still it would push. It was like a brain thing. Like this guy was smart.
What the hell?
Yeah, he knew all about the body and everything.
That's wild.
So
You're going to New
I'm
York.
going back tomorrow.
Going to New York this weekend?
Yeah, going to New York this weekend. Never been before.
Bussing it in the big sexy.
Bussing it in the favorite fishing tour bus. So it's gonna be a blast.
How far is that drive? Because y'all are leaving tomorrow night. So
I looked at it last night. It's only like 13 hours.
Oh, that's
so
not bad.
it's not
Because I
bad.
drove in a minivan like in August, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's not a bad drive, and we're going to like up near Syracuse, and it's like upper New York, but it's not going to be that bad of a drive.
Are y'all going to Niagara Falls or no?
I don't know what we're doing. Usually when we get in the bus, I just get my bunk, shut the curtain, watch movies.
That's solid.
Did you watch Dahmer yet?
I watched the first episode, and that was it. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to watch anime because I'm lame.
Before
Dude.
you got here, I was just asking him if he watched. 'Cause I watched it while I was in Selma this past weekend. It is some weird shit.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Dude, I can't it took me a while to get through that all.
Was it like just hard to watch or like anxiety?
I mean, dude, it's just crazy. I mean, it's just, I find it interesting how those like psychopaths and like how their mind works.
I enjoyed the tech.
Like I'm not a fan of like scary movies or anything like that, but like stuff that's already happened, and those people are dead, like it doesn't freak me out. Like I just like, if you can't understand something, why somebody would do all these terrible things, like I don't know, it's just interesting to me.
He didn't even have a reason though.
Yeah.
Like, not just, we can't. I don't want to spoil it for anybody listening, but
Spoil it,
it's like,
Mcilwain.
there's just this one part where he's like making this whole he got to the point where he was eating them, and he made like this like whole like tenderloin steak out of one of them's leg or something, and like cooked it to medium rare and ate it.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Yeah, I guess I'll go home and watch it.
There's at the end of the thing where they have that John Wayne Gacy or whatever on there. Yeah. So he has like a Netflix special where they like talk about
Yeah, I
they have
started that one
the
too.
lost tapes. Yeah. You start watching this true crime shit, and then you just get on a roll, and then So I hope they do a show with him, like a drama.
Yeah, because the lost tapes or whatever for the John, it's not as entertaining as the Dahmer tapes one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Dahmer tapes one, but it's pretty crazy.
Did you ever watch that Shockingly Evil, the Ted Bundy with Zac
Yeah,
Efron? That
dude,
was really good.
that was great.
It was like 4 episodes, 3 episodes. It was really
Dude,
good.
it was awesome. It was great. He killed it.
Are you watching anything else?
Not really. I mean, I watched that, and I watched a couple of movies. I watched the new Top Gun movie.
I haven't seen the first one.
You haven't?
Never seen Top
Dude,
Gun.
I didn't see the new Top Gun until like, I don't know, a year or two. I mean, the old one like a year or two ago. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When was the last time you've been to a movie theater?
I think 21 Jump Street was the last movie I went to.
Damn, so before me, my last movie was 2013.
Damn, what'd you see?
Southpaw. No, Southpaw. That movie.
He don't strike me as an Airbud. He'd be a homeward bound.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, Mcilwain.
I remember when I was married one time, we went to see this movie. It was like called like The Nut or something. Like it was like Squirrel Nut or something. I don't know. And not sexual.
Yeah.
But
was it a cartoon?
yeah, it was a cartoon. And I remember me and my ex-wife were sitting there and we looked at each other like, this movie's fucking awful. We got to get out of here.
That's so funny.
But yeah, I haven't been to Mcilwain's. When's the last time you went to a movie?
We went when we played at, was it Rowdy's in Texas? The last time Colin was out with us, we went and watched Top Gun Maverick over because they had that theater right next door.
Yeah.
Is it still expensive? Isn't it like $20 to go to the movies?
No, dude, it was like, I think it cost us, it was $13 for the ticket. And then this was like the nice one too, where you got the reclining chairs and like, it was just like you could lay all the way back and watch the movie. It was great.
You know the movie theater that's like in
Opry Mills?
in Birmingham, that's over there like in Irondale. They serve alcohol there.
Oh, really? I think a lot of them do now.
I
Yeah, they pretty much all
I think Last House on the Left or something.
That sounds scary as hell.
Yeah, it was scary as hell movie. I went with like a church group, and there's like a scene in there that's like I don't know, it's not good. And my friend Gary, like he's real country. He's from Pine Hill, Alabama. He goes, I'm sorry, but we're leaving. I ain't watching this. That's just as bad. Can't do it. That was funny.
Oh, no.
I mean, it was funny, not the scene in the movie, but just how he was just like, yeah, that's awful. We just can't do this.
I feel like, damn, it's not like Netflix. You're just turning it off. You're like, all right, we're done.
What else we got?
Koe Wetzel this weekend?
Yeah, Koe Wetzel.
No, next weekend.
Next weekend.
Fuck.
Yeah, we go to New York and then doing some shows with Koe Wetzel.
Koe and Colby.
Yeah, so I think it was, we did that, the Welltail takeover. Was that it? The Brills round?
Yes.
And Koe was there, but he was like in the back parking lot. He was like, wanted to meet me. And we had some Koe offers like
Earlier in the
when
year?
Dick Down Dallas first popped off, but we were already just like so booked and so slammed. So he wanted to meet me. So I went out back and he was like, so we're doing some shows together. And I was like, hell yeah. Finally, it's finally happening. I'm pumped. So I just love their content. It's great.
Dude, they be having like fucking pyro and shit on stage. And
Yeah, I just love the content they make that's like just like stupid, like, you know, funny stuff.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
Beating the shit out of each other.
Fucking
all that
Mcilwain
stuff.
gonna watch it this weekend.
I watched, he put out that thing on YouTube. It's Road to El Paso.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's like, it's not like their TikTok stuff. It's like they're acting in it, but it's,
Oh, really?
it's great. Yeah.
That's awesome. What have you been listening to?
Dude, honestly, I'm bored of music. I
Dude,
can't
have
find
you listened to the new Hardy thing?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. The truck bed, is that what it's called?
Truck Bed, and then there's The Crow.
Mockingbird and the Crow.
Mockingbird and the Crow. 7-minute song. I mean, I said this on the last episode, but I'll say it again. There is nobody like fucking Hardy,
Dude, I agree.
He's the best. And I remember when he first came on the scene, like you were listening to that EP and I was like, what the fuck is this? This
Dude, that
is
shit was
bullshit.
slapping.
And like I remember me and Dawson having a conversation where I was like, I don't really like Hardy that much. And he was like, what? How can you not like him? He's literally the fucking best there is. And I just didn't know anything about him. And then I went and did my research and I was like, yeah, I don't ever let that comment see the light of day. But
Here we are.
here we are. He's awesome, dude. Like he's the man. So.
When's the record come out?
January 20th.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
it's too long to wait, but
I know, that's forever.
I'm excited. But at least he put out like 4 songs or 3 songs.
Yeah,
So,
I'm excited to see how the mix of country and everything.
dude,
sounds.
nobody's ever done that before, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I can like compare to what I heard on that song is like The Outsiders by Eric Church.
Mm-hmm.
That album. You're not an Eric Church fan, are you?
I like the first 2 records.
Yeah. But I think that's
Is that the one that's Mr. Misunderstood? Is that on that record?
No. That's a different record. That's a later record. But whatever album the Outsiders is on, I think that's the title track.
I think it is the
album.
title track.
But that's the only thing. Like he had that song. There's some song on there about like the Opry and stuff. Where he's like talking and stuff. But that's like the only thing that like I think it's when I first heard that Eric Church record, I was like, that's a badass record. Like nobody's ever done that before. And then like
Here we are.
To me, that's kind of like the equivalent, but even more badasser.
What should I be listening to? Because I'm literally bored of music. I can't find anything. I'm listening to like seasonal albums right now, like winter.
I don't
and fall.
know. I mean, I haven't really been listening to much either. I've just been listening to a bunch of demos and work tapes, trying to figure out what songs are going to be on this album.
What are you listening to,
Dude,
Mcilwain?
you know what podcast I have been listening to that is fucking great? And I was on it. The Dumb Blonde podcast.
Oh, that's awesome, Bunny.
Bunny's podcast is hilarious, dude.
I'm trying to decide.
But it's like they mix in a good bit of seriousness and like
that's cool. And mental health and everything.
mental health. And I mean it's great. I was listening. You know who Dimps is, the girl on TikTok? You know who she is, Mcilwain? She's like a TikToker. She's got like I don't know. She's got like 2 million or something followers. But she like Nate Smith. You know him?
Yeah.
Like she like blew up his songs on there by doing like the Dimps kicks and like all these dances and stuff. But she was on the podcast and like she talked about all her drama and like she talked about like living with her mom on the couch and I don't know. I got emotional listening to it. She's awesome, dude.
Did you see O'Malley go viral on TikTok?
Oh yeah,
with the Pitbull tattoo,
Yeah.
and then he met Pitbull and got him to sign it.
Damn.
Like last week in Texas.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he met Pitbull and showed him the tattoo.
I
They
thought
got that tattooed on him.
Yeah, he did.
I thought they filmed like a Pitbull concert. Or
I don't
something.
think so. I think they were just there hanging out.
No, so what? Because I dug into this once I saw it. So what he did was, I guess I don't know if they were either going to the concert or I think he just got his first tattoo. It was a drunk tattoo, and it's like a
Vegas.
pit bull with Pitbull's head on it.
Oh, okay.
And then he filmed the whole thing, and I guess Pitbull saw it, and so he invited him to the concert. And what was it?
Fort Worth. They're in Fort
yeah.
Worth.
Damn, I got to step it up. My fans be getting tattoos of me, and I don't invite them to the show.
And then he let him shoot content there, or it was Pitbull's manager, I think, that let him do all of it. And then Pitbull came back there. He signed it. He went immediately back to the tattoo artist, got that tattooed on him, and that went viral too. It's massive. I think it had like 8 or 12 million views on it.
Yeah, O'Malley's more viral than us now just from a Pitbull tattoo.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not getting any. I did get verified on TikTok.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
more clapping hands. Today's guest. I think that's all we got to talk about, right?
Yeah, I
that's
think
all
so.
I got left to say about that. Just want to say for a second before we get started here, thank y'all for listening, watching the DM Monday podcast. If you want to subscribe or whatever, don't forget that we video it. It's on YouTube, so you can go watch it and see Bonner's sexy beard. And, rate, subscribe, all that stuff. Do all that. It helps us out. And if you want to, like if you listen to it on like, what is it? iTunes or? If you listen on Apple, like go leave a review. That would help us. That would help us. Go leave a review. What else, Mcilwain, can they do to help us out here?
Go to TreyLewisMusic.com, buy some merch.
Buy some merch. Yeah, helps us keep this place alive. All these lights and
Add Matt McIlwain on
space
Snapchat.
are fucking expensive. What?
Add Matt McIlwain on Snapchat.
Yeah, add him on Snapchat. It's Matt McIlwain, right? Yep, he's single.
Oh, and this is our episode with our
Add
guest.
Trey Bonner.
I don't know how to add people back on Snapchat.
Well, you just hit the plus button.
It's too much work.
I'll throw this out there. My Snapchat is the same as my Instagram handle.
Hey, if you didn't know, now on Snapchat, if we can get you one of those yellow checks on there,
Yeah.
you can now you could be able to subscribe to Trey, and he could go through his day, and it is now a different kind of platform as far as that goes.
Snapchat is?
Spicy
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Cool. I'll have to tell.
You can make money off of it now.
Oh, sweet.
Hit him with a spicy Snapchat.
Yeah. My thing is, if you ain't sending ass, why you on my Snapchat?
That's where I'm at. So I'm like, fuck, I only got a select amount of people on there.
Yeah. I'll send you my ass.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might have.
Yeah.
I think that's why I haven't deleted you yet.
I went on a date last night.
How was it?
It was good, man. It was
That's
good.
good.
It was a second date.
Where'd y'all go?
We went to Outback.
Oh, nice. The
Yeah,
one
it
by
was
your
good.
house?
Yeah.
That
Then
one's
the
pretty solid.
other time we went to the Goat. Have you ever been to the Goat?
I have not.
It's good.
And you went to Crumble Cookie, though, right?
Yeah, I didn't get any cookies, but she did.
Damn. That's
was a good
solid.
time.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but today's guest is a good friend of mine. We've been friends for probably since 2013. He played on Country Boy Crazy, so can't wait to talk about that. And he's played on everything I've done. His name is Grady Saxman, and he's a drummer, and he owns a studio here in town. And you know, if you live in Nashville and you record music, then everybody pretty much knows who he is. So here's our interview with Grady Saxman.
There's nothing worse than having a lack of confidence because you ate a ghost pepper.
Right. I already don't have confidence. So
Exactly.
You don't need any help. You know what I mean? Like,
That's how the podcast starts right there.
that's the clip.
it's the same thing as when you eat Taco Bell before you try to hook up with somebody.
Yeah.
You're just rolling the dice, man.
Yeah.
You can't even get into it because in the back of your head, you're like, what if that Taco Bell kicks in?
I
It could
might
happen
shit
at
my
any
pants.
moment.
Before you got here, I was telling the story of so the Kid Rock tour. The Kid Rock tour ended this week.
Speaking about shit in my pants,
Yeah.
let's talk about the Kid Rock tours.
Yeah. So the Kid Rock tour ended. And our last show was in Laughlin, Nevada, and afterwards, me and Alex went over to In-N-Out to celebrate. And I'm like walking through the hotel, and I'm just like, oh man, I feel a shit coming on. Get back to the hotel. I'm laying in the bed, and I just like. I farted and I shit right through my pants, right through the underwear onto the bed. Yeah.
You left a mark.
Yeah, I left a mark. It was bad.
Then you went to another hotel room.
And then, we had they gave us 2 hotel rooms. Me and Alex just stayed in the same hotel room. And I was like,
Until you shit the bed.
We're moving hotel rooms. Yeah. Yeah.
I still haven't had the Mexican pizza.
Could you imagine working at a hotel? You walk into a room.
And there's just shit on the bed.
It could be anything, but you don't, like, in my mind, I'm always like CSI. So I'm like, someone died, they shit when they died, and the body is left.
Yeah. But like also too, I think like as soon as they walk into the room, they're like, oh hell no, ain't no way we're cleaning this today. Fuck this. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Dude, I made $7.49 and I cleaned shit at Toys R Us. So
Really?
3.5 years.
I forgot you worked at Toys R Us.
I'm the reason they closed.
I remember walking into a hotel one time, and it was sketchy. It's down in like North Florida, like Pensacola.
Yeah.
Like the shitty part.
Yeah.
We walk in, and there's like this, like, looks like fucking hemoglobin on the side of the bed.
What the fuck is hemoglobin?
I need a beer. Fuck it.
I don't know. It just sounds cool, but I would imagine it's like when the blood's been there a while, it's all like blood clotted up and stuff. Hemoglobin.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
My wife's a nurse. I hear these words. These like buzzwords for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what they mean.
Yeah. So you see
Okay,
the hemoglobin.
There's just like some fucking hemoglobin on the side of the bed, like
That's
down
the word of the week.
down by the it's like touching the carpet, and we go and get the guitar player, and he's like dry heaving, right? He's like, oh my god, oh no, because he's already sketched out. He's like from New York. He's like sketched out that we're like in this really shitty hotel in
Who
Florida.
were you on the road with?
This was
Adam or something?
no. This was like 2010. This would have been Jared Ashley.
Okay.
From like way back in the day. But yeah, the guitar player just started with us. He's from New York, or he came from LA. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He hadn't toured like that before, down and dirty.
Yeah.
So we're like, Michael, there's some fucking hemoglobin. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway, bass player comes over. He like puts his finger in it.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, dog, that's Jello.
That's funny.
I can't.
For those of you who don't know, this is Grady Saxman. What's
Are
up,
we-
man? How you doing?
Are we rolling?
We're rolling. That
Oh,
was
shit.
part of the podcast. That's just going to be in there. We're just
That's
going to
our
roll
intro?
with that. Yeah.
Nice.
This is Grady Saxman. He is the owner and the manager and the drummer,
owner operator.
operator of
Facilitator.
Saxman Studios.
Human resources.
Yeah.
I am HR. You
Does
got a
it all.
problem?
Yeah, exactly. I originally first met Grady in 2012. I was cutting a record with Nolan Neal. And no, wait, you were giving Wes, the guy that like paid for my first EP.
I was giving him drum lessons.
You were giving him drum lessons, and we were like,
he was
let's
like-
get him to play on the record.
He's like, I got a studio, and I was like, cool, man.
yeah.
And he did have a studio. He had a
It was
great
nice.
studio.
Yeah, it was nice.
But yeah, I had no concept of, how people talk.
You
I
had
got a
just
studio.
moved to town, right?
I moved to town in 2010.
Okay, so you had been here for a minute.
2 years.
So you were given like lessons and you had you had a little space on Music Road, didn't you? Or something?
Well, okay, let's go to the very beginning. When I met Wes, so when I moved to town kind of like a lot of people do. Like you have like this one thing that you think is going to like pull through for you, like this cool thing.
Yeah.
And it always falls through.
Yeah.
But it gets you here.
Yeah.
Right. So I had taught drum lessons and stuff back in Texas. And so that was something I was pretty comfortable with doing. So I had an apartment in Hermitage and there was a storage facility called the A+ Storage. And the owner was an old musician. And so he was really cool. And like he let me practice in there.
Yeah.
And so he let me run power to my my little shed too. So I had a coffee maker.
Yeah.
And then I was in there practicing and I was like, I could just teach lessons here. So I talked to him. He's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Come on. So I called it the drum shed and it was literally a storage shed. And that's where I met Wes. I had a little website.
Yeah. Little website.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I still get hit up. I took that website down years ago. It's like in the dark web or something.
Fuck yeah. Let's get the domain
You
now.
had like a lip ring or a nose ring or something back then when I met you, didn't you?
No.
You did, dude.
No, I didn't.
Earring. Did you have like a little hangy earring?
No hangies. I probably had studs.
I
Like
can't
the fake
remember.
gauges. Like you get them from Hot
I
Topic.
just remember you walked in, you were like calling stuff dope and like rad and stuff. I never heard anybody talk like that.
Really? They don't talk like that in Birmingham?
No.
Yeah. No. I grew up for an hour from the coast. So
How
I guess
old were
I
you
thought I
then?
was a
20,
surfer.
22?
I would have been 22.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But he played on Country Boy Crazy.
Hell yeah, the best song of literally all time.
Y'all play that?
Every day? No, unfortunately not.
I was like, there's no way. There's no way.
No, but
listen to it
Bonner
every
loves
day.
it. We had Baby Jake on here. He's a pop artist. You know who he is?
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about Dick Down in Dallas, of course. And he was like, man, I even went back and listened to the old record from 2013. That thing was mixed really good and like all this stuff. And Bonner's like, fuck yeah, Country Boy Crazy. So
I remember. That's the one I remember, though.
yeah, it was Country Boy Crazy. You played on like 3 songs, I remember.
Might have been, I don't know how big that record was, but there might have been 4 that I played
Yeah.
on. But
Yeah.
like it was kind of pieced together. Like we did that initial tracking
It was.
session.
There was like an EP. What is the guitar player's name?
Dennis.
No, not Dennis. This guy, like his name was Ryan. I don't remember his last name. He ended up playing for Chris Young.
Yeah, I know Ryan. I can't remember his last name.
Is he still playing music?
He's probably still with Chris Young.
His dad was like a bad made guitars or something. Was like a badass player.
Yeah. Shit. It's been a lifetime ago since I
Yeah.
talked to Ryan. But last time I saw him was Tortuga Fest. He was playing with Chris Young.
Okay, so he's probably still at that gig.
I mean, that was 2016. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So
I digress.
what did you what was your first road gig? Was that guy with the
Yeah.
Jello? Yeah.
Jello gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jared Ashley was my first road gig. Kind of my first and my last.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
really?
Yeah, I did it for a couple years. And he came off of a television show called Nashville Star.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was a
That's what
contestant
Chris Young won.
same year.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
same year.
Chris came in first, and then I don't know if Jared was like third or something. But anyway, he had some notoriety from that show. And what we did basically, like, remember back in 2010, you could
Yeah.
just go and play gigs
Yeah.
and make money.
Yeah.
And people paid you.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Enough money that you could travel around in a bus and pull a trailer and have no hits on the radio.
Yeah.
So he did really well in the college market.
So you never really did the van thing. You were just busting it.
It was kind of like it was a converted airport shuttle, like 33 feet long.
Yeah.
6 bunks, a bathroom, kitchen, lounge.
Yeah. Did you play in bands and stuff in Texas or what?
That's how I ended up in Nashville I played in a couple bands when I was in high school. The one that got me to Nashville was kind of like an indie pop, Coldplay kind of sounding band. And there was a Christian band from Baytown, Texas called Leland. And basically half of our team came from Leland. and they were all from Nashville.
Oh, wow.
And so they had started like a small imprint label in Houston, and we would be coming up to Nashville all the time. So we would be doing writing sessions and photos. Everything was done up
fuck
here.
it, let's move here.
No. So anyway, we were supposed to write, we had I don't know if you remember the band Amber Lynn. They were like a big.
I don't.
I did.
It
We
is-
listened to them a lot in college.
Yeah, they were big like in 2006 to like 2010.
Were they from Michigan?
I have no idea, but the singer, I think his name's Steven. He lived in Brentwood. He did not want to have a 5-way co-write, which I totally understand.
I don't
Meanwhile,
even like doing a 4-way, really.
Meanwhile, I didn't even want to come up here, but my band was like, "You got to be here for these rights, man. You got to be here." And I was like, "I got some just like shit going on back home. Like I'd rather just stay here and do my thing." So they
I
made
just
me
want to play the drums. Y'all write the songs.
lead drums, baby. So
Lead drums, baby.
yeah, man, I'm really like a lead drum player for the most part, but I can play rhythm.
I like
if
my
have to.
kid on the front of the stage.
Yeah,
Like, dead
at least
center.
caddy corner. You know what I mean, like a truck bed.
Yeah.
So I already kind of didn't want to come, and I couldn't be a part of this thing. So I was stuck at the hotel all day. Meanwhile, I was also in college, and one of my professor's sons had a publishing deal here, and I reached out to him, and we just kind of got to talking and hanging out. And he was like, "Man, I'm not looking for a drummer, but if you were to move here, I'd fire my drummer." And I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You gigging?" He's like, "I got 1 gig a week at the Tin Roof." I was like, "I'm in." What's it pay? He's like $35 and some free nachos. I was like, "Let's do it."
Oh, it's awesome.
So I used to play like the curb night at Tin Roof
On
Wednesday
on Broadway
nights.
or on
No.
Demonbreun?
Yeah, Demonbreun.
Oh, nice.
Right across the street. Back when this was a parking lot,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But Curb they would do takeovers every Wednesday, and one of the guys that I moved up here to play for was a writer. Doug Johnson was still at Curb. He was the head of publishing. This has been like when Lee Bryce had just popped off.
Yeah.
So that was like the new thing. It was like Love Like Crazy was huge. So I moved to town to play with him, and we would play the Curb nights. I'd make my $35 and get my nachos. And Jared
Yeah.
was co-writing with this guy, Nick. They were writing his new record, and he had just signed a new record deal, and he needed a drummer. His drummer had quit. And so I was here for like 2 weeks, and then I picked up that gig, and then I was in his shuttle bus for the next couple of years, just playing all these frat parties and, you know,
Just doing it. Yeah.
every single bar in the Southeast,
Yeah.
essentially, like just about everyone.
That's wild.
Yeah, well, we went all the way, everything in Georgia, most of the crap in Alabama, a lot of the stuff in Florida,
So all the venues I've played, you've probably played them all.
unless they're new.
Yeah, less than that.
But I would have played them with Jared.
That's wild.
And back then, we didn't have anything at that time on the radio, and like legitimately, we would go and play our 3 45-minute sets,
Yeah.
and everybody would get paid, come home, and it was like Thursday through Saturday every week.
That's crazy.
And that was my first gig.
By the way, I failed to mention to tell the listeners you are one of the producers of Dig Down in Dallas. Everybody knows Alex Maxwell was, but Grady was too. So how did you get into record, like doing session work and stuff?
So I moved up here to do sessions.
Yeah.
And I moved up here.
You were already good enough. That's mind blowing. You know?
Well, back in Texas, I used I used to join bands just to make the record.
Oh, really?
And then I quit.
Yeah. Because you really enjoyed it?
Yeah, because I just love the recording process. And so that Coldplay band, I mean, I really had no intention of staying in that band. And right about that same time that, you know, contracts were getting thrown around and they wanted to lock members down. And so that's why when I was up here on that writing trip, I was like, I could go back and sign this contract and be in this band for a couple years, or I could just use this one opportunity in town, leverage it, see what happens.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I did. But yeah, I mean, growing up, all I ever did was like put together bands, make a record, quit, start a new band.
That's awesome.
So
they hated you because you're really good.
Well,
so
that's all I
it's
ever
like-
really wanted to do, you know? So I moved up to town. The whole reason I moved, kind of partially, the biggest reason was one of my teachers in college was starting a studio. And back then there was still like demo mills and stuff like that where they just had house bands.
Yeah.
You know? So I was going to move up and be the drummer in this house studio band, essentially, with a bunch of the professors I went to school with. That fell through, right? So that was kind of what got me here. That fell through, but then I got the gig with Nick, and then I just kind of, me and Nick both jumped and toured with Jared for a couple years.
Yeah.
And so we did, you know, I don't know how many shows, a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of opening stuff. And that was kind of when I really realized, like, I don't like touring.
Yeah. When did you, I guess, where were you doing sessions before you started your home studio? Like the one you're in now?
So Nolan was one of the first guys through Wes that was hiring me on a bunch of stuff. So I go to his place on 16th. There used to be several studios down on the road that aren't there anymore that I would hop around at. And then there was also...
And then you start meeting like Smith and all those guys, or like...
I think in the beginning, I didn't meet Smith for a while, but I think in the beginning it was more guys like Nolan that were kind of like more producer track guy situations that really just needed drums. Yeah. It wasn't because it's, as you know, it's like tracking full band is a whole different beast,
thing.
Right? And for people that are listening, it's just, it sounds really easy, but I mean, when you're with 6 other guys and you're on the clock and everybody's trying to get their punches, there's an etiquette involved in the way that you even, you know, ask for punches or suggest changes in the chart or anything like that. No one just comes to town and gets sucked right into that, you know? So you kind of start with like guys like Nolan or Josh Bright. Like I met Josh Bright kind of early on too, who are handling.
Where would y'all, like when Josh Bright came up and did sessions back then, where would y'all do them at?
Not to jump around a whole lot, but
we like jumping around. Okay. No order here.
Hell yeah. Well, let's fast forward a couple years.
So Josh Bright, for those of you who don't know, he produced
Whole Lot of Nothing.
He produced Breathless. He produced which was a demo, so he probably hates me for putting that out.
He's the Dan Huff of Alabama, dude.
He is the Dan Huff of Alabama. I mean,
if you live in Alabama and you want to,
and even if you live in Nashville and you're from Alabama,
it's only like it's only like what 2 hours from here, something like that.
I mean, he uses he does Justin Holt stuff, which I mean
Paxton P.
He does Clay stuff.
He's done a lot of stuff.
He does Blaine Rudd stuff. I mean, he does
Blaine stuff's really good.
I still send people to him all the time that call me, and you know,
I have a track in my inbox right now
for him. Yeah. That's
he's
awesome.
great. He's one of the most talented dudes,
for sure,
honestly. But yeah, so back in 2012, 2013, I had a studio on the row.
Oh yeah.
And so that was kind of when I started working with Josh. And it was also about the same time I met Saul.
Mm-hmm.
And so Josh had been using Saul on a bunch of recordings, and then Saul started kind of giving Josh my information for drums. And so I just overdub, send it. We've been doing that for 8 years.
Yeah. So I went fishing with Will Hutchins, piano player.
I know Will.
Yeah. You know him well. But he told me that I guess he said the way that he met all y'all is he had this like roommate that was like recording music. It was like going to be his last like recording ever. And his roommate was like, yeah, man, I really want you to like play on my record. And then he walked into the session, and it was a session with you, Saul, and like a bunch of other people. And then from that day on, like he's been doing sessions with y'all.
I wish I could remember who that guy was. Yeah, that's like, kind of the shitty thing is like, that's not the first time that I've walked into the studio and for someone's farewell record.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's funny that I was like,
but it's like, you don't tell people figured,
that. Like when I asked him how y'all met and all that stuff, like, you know, that y'all would, you know, like it would be some big elaborate story. He's like, no, man, I just like walked in, you know, to this thing to do it, and you know, and then y'all end up doing all the Luke stuff. Did y'all did the Luke Combs stuff together?
So that first record was kind of pieced together.
Yeah.
Right. So there was maybe 3 different producers on that.
Yeah.
What's funny is a lot of the guys that played on it are like, you know, me, Will, and Saul, like all buddies and stuff, but like I didn't play on any of the tracks with Will.
Yeah.
I played on one of the tracks with Saul, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So it was another overdub situation for me.
One number away.
Yeah. And that was one.
Because that was a single before it was on the record, right?
No, that was the third single.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So they wanted to release it first, and they did Hurricane, which was smart. And then they wanted to release it second, and they pivoted and did When It Rains It Pours. So it became the third single.
Cool. So when you get a call like that, I mean, and at that time, I mean, you'd done some cool stuff at that up until that point, right?
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
But like when you get that call, you're like, cool, this is awesome. We're gonna do this.
No,
No.
it was no
Were you freaking out, or
no,
was
it was no different than any other day. What's funny is I tracked that song on a Monday.
Yeah.
That Saturday before, I was subbing for Keith Anderson, picking wildflowers, right? And Luke was opening up for us.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's some shitty festival.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they didn't even have catering. They had like
no.
They had some craft singles and tomatoes.
Yeah.
It was a tomato festival.
Dude, that's the only reason I go.
Dude, it was awful. No air
The show,
conditioning.
I'm just there for the food.
Yeah, you could tell they were learning a lot on this first festival.
That's great.
So anyway, it was a bonding
Were you
experience.
like, hey, I played on your record, or I am.
Well, so Luke used to hang out, kind of in like a similar circle as me. So like I met him a couple times just eating at Chewy's with my buddies,
Yeah.
And then all my friends went on to go play with him.
Yeah.
Right. Because like Kurt and Rob and those guys, like we used to back up artists in town together
all the time.
kind of as a little unit. There was one girl in particular that like we were just kind of her band for in-town showcases and stuff. And
Who was that?
Tay Barton.
I never heard of her.
She's still here.
Still here?
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
But yeah, so like all those guys are my buddies. Delaney, he used to play bass. He just left recently, but like those three guys.
I met Delaney. He's with Brantley Gilbert now. Mm-hmm. He's a good dude.
He's doing well. But so it was cool. It was just like, yeah, hey, here's Luke. Yeah, seen you at Chewy's a couple times. Like these are all my buddies. And then I get a call over the weekend from my buddy Sammy. Never tells me who I'm working for. He's like, hey, I need to do a drum overdub on Monday. Can you fit me? And I was like, yeah, sure. Come on over. And it was Luke and Lynn.
You didn't know what it was for though.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And I had just met Luke. Well, I just watched him play for the first time. And again, it was like a shitty festival. There might have been like 60 people there.
Yeah.
So nothing seemed like it was, I got to make this great because this is my moment. It was, I used to be like in that studio on Music Row. It got torn down. So I was like in a studio environment between that one and where I'm at now.
Yeah.
That was a little, at the time, little crazy. It was a little frat house.
I feel like, do you feel like this? But I feel like you learn not to get excited about I don't mean like not get excited about things you're about to do, but like
I don't.
Well, I just mean like every day's a job. You know what I mean? You have to get up and do your best, and you never know if it's gonna, be a big deal or it's gonna. I mean, you got a platinum plaque hanging on your wall in the studio, for that record, but it's like you don't know if it's gonna be like a huge deal or it's just gonna be another record you played on. But you show up and you do just as good as job. If it, you know what I mean, you do the same job that you would do. That's basically what I'm saying.
Right. Like
get your heart broken enough in this town,
Yeah, I think more or less really what it is like you don't let outside circumstances justify the way you approach your job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, at the time, like Luke wasn't even signed.
Yeah.
So
it was just him and Lynn.
Just him and Lynn. Just the same thing I was doing every single day, just working for independent artists, right? That was in 2016. That song didn't even go number one till 2018.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we did that.
I just remember when it came out and I was like, damn, Grady played on this, dude.
Right.
And I was like, he plays on my shit.
Also, not to fluff you up, but I mean, look at Dick Down in Dallas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like no one went to the studio that day and said, this is going to be a fucking hit.
Yeah.
No one.
Nobody.
We're like, this is going to be funny and it's going to make a splash. And then like, you'll get some TikTok followers or something. And
we had a good time doing it.
We had a great time.
Me, you, Saul, and Maxwell. I mean, you played drums.
Good times.
Saul played bass.
We were tracking your
electric.
We were tracking your vocal by the time Saul was tracking bass.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did that's the funniest thing too, is like people are like, man, you did Dick Down in Dallas. Like, what's that like? I was like, fastest song I've ever done.
Yeah, we did it in like
2 hours.
I mean, I think even the mix that we put out, y'all were wanting to remix it one more time, and I was like, no, I'm sending it,
dude. Yeah, I mean,
because I mean, when you listen to it, it's like the vocal could come up a little bit, you know.
to be completely transparent, that was like a 30-minute mix.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Jonathan mixed it in my room, like after driving all the way from Georgia to do like a butt ton of other mix revisions.
Yeah.
And so it was like, it was a quick down and dirty mix, you know? But again, it was like that whole situation was like, Grady, you got any studio time like the next couple of days? I need to do something fast. And I was like,
no, that's not how it went down. This is how it went down. So we played the round at Barill's thing, and I play it, and the video goes kind of semi-viral on the internet. Nikki T put it on Raised Rowdy's
and
Facebook group.
It got on Old Row.
And no, Bonner got it on Call Her Daddy's Facebook group. And then McKinney got it put on Old Row. And then I was dating this girl at the time, and I'd called Ryan Nelson because he was like there, and I was like, how do we go about this? Do we go like, because Maxwell's like, we record full version, but he did this demo like originally that was just like not it. So I was like, I don't know if that's the way to go. I was like, do we do like Corey Smith, like just straight acoustic, like, college bar song, or do we just go like full on out? And then I got off the phone with him, and then you texted me, and the text said Dick Down in Dallas, because I guess you saw the video.
oh yeah.
Because people in town were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, we're going to Grady's.
At that point, it was like, how quick can we do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember seeing that, and I was like, that shit's funny, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But
that was pretty cool.
of all the songs, though, you pour your heart and soul into all these songs you really believe in. And you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you too, like some of the songs that I've been a part of that have done really well, it's like are my least favorite songs.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I kind of remove my opinion from a lot of stuff and just become a vessel for
just try to play with the best.
Yeah, just it's all about the song, and whether I'm working for myself, if I'm producing it, therefore I'm working for the artist. Or I'm working for a producer. It's like you just got to put your ego to the side and do your job.
So I have a few songs now that you didn't play on, but every time you do play on a song, Matt, he's my drummer. So every time he's like, Grady did play on this because this field going in the second verse is kind of hard. It's going to take me a minute to get it.
When you Google Trey Lewis drummer, you know who pops up, don't you?
No,
it's you.
It says
Really?
Grady
Yeah.
Saxman.
Hell yeah!
Fuck you, Matt McIlwain.
So every now and then I'll Google my name just to kind of see what people are searching for.
That's hilarious.
And
we should do like the ACMs together then.
yeah. So
Don't put me on TV. I'll let y'all go. I'll let you do it.
Oh, fuck.
So Mcilwain, he's like, I play drums for Trey Lewis a lot and hits on girls.
It works.
It's kind of his big
Like I got an apartment
It's
at
really a joke. He doesn't really do that, but we just give him a hard time about it.
Say, girl, you ever been in the
But
novel?
I think he does do it because when I like search my name every now and then, it'll be like the third question. It'll say, "Who is Trey Lewis's drummer?" So
Dude, those are all your ladies trying to find you.
well, I just see it like he's at a bar. He's like, "Yo, you know that song, Dick Down Dallas? Yeah, I play drum for the guy that sings it." And they're like, whatever. And then he walks away, and they're over there like Googling it.
Who is Trey Lewis's drummer?
Yeah, and it's great that it shows up Grady Saxman.
Matt, when you drink, do you slur a lot?
They say I talk
I know.
aggressive.
No, he just gets like, I know I can book us right now for $10,000. Like, I know how to do this. Like, yeah.
With his Trey Lewis Dick Down in Dallas shirt on. That he showers
See,
in.
I got to where I quit wearing any of our merch out because it does attract. I ain't gonna say who it was, but we were at Red Door. I think it's like 3 weeks ago. But I was walking around. I made it a point not to mention it. I get introduced as Trey's drummer now. This is Matt McIlwain. He plays for Trey Lewis. I'm like, I don't do it.
And then you walk off, and then the Google searches start.
Yeah, start firing. Yeah.
And then they realize it's Grady Saxman.
Apparently, I've been on the road with you for the last couple of years.
Exactly. So your studio. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about the evolution of it.
All right. Well, when I played drums on the Luke thing,
Yeah.
I was in a studio spot on Lipscomb University.
Yeah.
And there was a band. It's a really old 2-story house built in the 20s. It's a killer studio now. Really killer. It's called Farmland. But when I was there,
Gabe Lee does his stuff there.
right.
Yeah.
So David Dorn
And
runs
Nate
it,
Smith,
and Caleb.
Nate Smith, Nate Frederick
Yes.
did his record.
I'm pretty
there.
sure Nate
Ben
Smith.
Chapman.
I would not be
Yeah, a
surprised.
bunch of those people. Yeah.
Right.
All the Americana kind of vibe.
So Anderson East is another Americana artist.
Oh, yeah.
And he lived upstairs.
He's from Alabama.
and his whole band lived upstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now the good thing was they toured heavily. They were
Yeah.
on the road a bunch.
Yeah.
So most days they weren't there, but when they were there, it was like a frat house, just like
Yeah.
dong dong dong.
Yeah.
One time I was cutting a vocal, there was a dude microwaving wontons in his boxers. And so like coming from my other studio, which was built by Warner Brothers in the 80s, it was
Yeah.
soundproof and isolated and nice. And then I'm kind of in like we used to call it Fratland, you know what I mean? Back in
Yeah.
the day, and it, like I say, like this is no shade because I love working there and
Yeah.
they've done a great job. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing now, but that was in the beginning stages of them kind of doing
Yeah.
that thing. But, anyway, I say all that just to kind of put like a context on like why I wanted to build my own studio is because I kind of had that experience being on the road and like I liked having that feeling of like going to work and it feeling separate. And so when I was down at Farmland for a little bit, it kind of felt like I was traveling from one house to another house just to do what I could be doing if I owned my own house.
Yeah.
And so when me and my wife bought a house in 2016, there was a bonus room above the garage. And I was like, this is it. I'm going to just build a drum room. I'll be able to, produce records and stuff. I don't need much. So I started with this bonus room. And this was
And
2016.
I've cut there. I cut in that room
When we were all piled into that one room.
before you did the ceiling.
Yeah, 8-foot ceilings. But I started in that one room and I spent about 6 weeks building that room out. My dad came down and helped me. We did like real oak
Didn't
flooring.
Aerith Old help you like put up the wood stuff?
Yeah, he helped me with my angles, dude. I'm terrible at that shit.
I talked to him yesterday for like
Couldn't do diagonal 45s to save my life, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, he taught me a lot. I had a bunch of help like that, when I was getting started. A lot of people came over and just kind of helped me put stuff together and build stuff. And it took about 6 weeks. And I had done the floors, I had done the back wall, I had done all the insulation, everything was ready to go. And so I moved over there. And
What did your wife think? Was she like, this is crazy, or was she like, this is cool?
that was the reason we bought that house.
Yeah.
So it was kind of understood from the beginning that like daddy's going to work from home.
Yeah. And this is before you were a dad. So
This is just
yeah.
Yeah, this is just when I was a daddy and not a dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I just drilled a couple holes and ran some guitar lines to the garage and
Put some amps down
blared
there, yeah.
amps downstairs, and we were all piled in upstairs and had people running all across the house, like doing vocals and acoustic guitars just across the house because that's like the only isolation I can get at the time.
Yeah.
And that was the summer of 2016. And basically what happened was like every off seasons, like every December, I would do a construction project on the studio. So it
Yeah.
started with that room, then it went downstairs and I built out some boosts downstairs, and I went back upstairs and vaulted the ceilings to where they're like 13 feet tall. Then I went back downstairs and tore out all the shit I had done 2 years ago and redid it all. And I did that like basically every December for 4 or 5 years until, we had a
Was it this last December or the December before?
we moved when you were there. We hadn't done the expansion,
Yeah.
but everything was done.
Yeah.
Like the tracking spaces they're exactly the same
Yeah.
as when you recorded Dick Down. But it kind of got to a point with my studio business growing and like more and more people coming over consistently, and then having a child, I'd have people walk in my front door. My wife's like nursing our baby and
Yeah.
stuff. And it
Yeah.
just kind of got a little crazy.
Yeah.
It just kind of made sense. So we started looking for another house,
Yeah.
and we built a house really close to where we're at now. So we lived there. And once we moved out of the studio, I just converted the whole thing.
It's badass, y'all. It's fucking sick.
So
The control room is in the living room.
It's a home, you know. But yeah, I mean, for a little context for people out there, it's like there's essentially 4 studios under one roof, because the stuff that I do, I stay pretty diversified when it comes to like I play, I produce, I band lead for other producers, facilitate whatever. I have a vocal room that people can use and rent out from me. And so I have essentially just kind of taken everybody, like my team, like the guy that I use to mix and the guy that I use to master, the guy that I use to help me with vocals, just kind of built them all a little spot to live in the studio.
It's all in-house, baby.
Yeah. So in theory, someone could come in and from start to finish, their files would never leave the studio. Yeah. Never even get on the internet, get WeTransferred or Dropbox to anybody. It's just all right there from start to finish.
That's badass.
But I tell people the studio is just a cancer that metastasized to the whole house. Started off as a little guy and then just.
Did you ever? Did those like plans come to you as time went on, or what? It's just like kind of almost out of necessity, huh?
Right. Yeah. You kind of just let the work decide. You know. Yeah. You know what that just determines everything. You know, if. For just in my situation, the stuff that I was doing at the house just kept growing and kept growing and kept growing, and we needed more space, and I was bringing on more people. You know, back in the day, it was just me, and I would just play drums and do everything. I'd mix everything, cut all the vocals, do all the editing, track everybody. I was the engineer, I was the studio owner, and then as we got busier, it's like I got an intern, and then once I got an intern, it's like I got a mix guy, and then then I got a vocal guy. Then I got a mastering guy.
I have people hit me up all the time, like on Instagram. They're like, "Hey man, I just want to let you know I recorded Grady's too, and we should get together and write sometime." You know, or like, I record my music at Grady's too. I'm cool. Just letting me asking that.
The mark.
Do what?
Is that me asking that?
I mean, that was the Matt McIlwain impression. It is. I can confirm. I saw the DM.
I saw it.
I will say, like, I think, as artists progress, I try to explain to people that your circle tightens. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a little unrealistic to think, like something like that 1 degree of separation being through me, you know what I mean, isn't necessarily a realistic thing, like trying to get to someone like you. But on the flip side, what I will say is that at my spot, since there's 4 people there every day. Yeah. And which means there's normally like 1 or 2 artists every day. Yeah. It does have like a nice community feel.
Oh, dude, for sure. I met a guy the other night at the Rusty Nail. He's been recording some like rock country with you. He's from like East Tennessee. I can't remember his name.
Brian Sneed.
That's it. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it sounded really good.
It hits fucking hard.
He did the thing where he like played it for me in the bar out of his phone. But I listened to it. I was like, wow, this dude's really good.
It hits hard, man. Yeah, he was kind of a surprise. I was like, yeah, let's see what happens. He came in and was just like, man, this is really easy and kind of effortless. And he just sings and it's done.
Yeah, dude, it's a badass setup over there. Like, you have, a couple successful projects, or just you put out good quality work out there. People, I mean, I'm sure your phone's ringing off the hook all the time.
We stay busy. Yeah, I mean,
you got to get a separate phone.
You don't really turn people down, do you? No.
I mean, I try not to exploit anybody. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So I've had specific situations where I'll tell people like, I don't think this is the right song. Yeah, you know what happens? They get amnesia, and a month later they send me the same fucking song. It's like, hey man, I want to record this song, man. And I'm like, let's do it. Yeah. And then I can only do what I can do.
No one can say no for so
totally. I mean, so
and then you do the demo session days. Those are fun.
Yeah, do demos. I mean, there's Sony's been keeping me real busy. Adam Sanders is, I feel like, over there every week.
That's your boy, isn't he?
Yeah, Adam. I love Adam, man. I did tour with him for a little bit, you know. And then there's like McKinney and Jordan Walker and you and
Maxwell.
I mean, those seem like they're, everything's kind of under Sony for publishing demos right now.
Yeah, as soon as Dick Down in Dallas happened, they
all got sucked up.
Yeah, they all ate us. So
how many songs are you doing like a year? Because I would imagine an insane amount.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it's like I'm kind of diversified in like the types of work that I do. But as a producer this year, I've done upwards of 150 singles.
Damn, that's a lot. That's awesome.
And again, it takes a team. It's not like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I couldn't do that if it was just me in my one room. You know what I mean? Like
Band, engineer. Everything.
yeah, if things hadn't expanded the way that they had.
Do you ever run into somebody and they'll be like, yeah, man, you played on my stuff. And you're like, I don't even remember that song, but you go listen to that song and then you like remember that day of cutting that song.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, because I don't ever remember the song title. It's like, but I can generally, like, I will remember like
One of my favorite
the first 30 seconds.
Yeah,
of a
one
song.
of my favorite songs you ever played on was "Working on Me, Waiting on You" by Blaine Road.
Dude, banger. Absolute banger.
So again, it's like don't
But that could be like a
like with the title, nothing. You know, I know Blaine, and I remember
We did this like double. What do you call it, Mcilwain? Drum
I
talk.
know what you're talking about.
You used to.
Let's get that
It's basically I think it's either 8th or a 16th note double. Dun 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 dun.
On the second verse, it's cool.
Dun, dun.
It's the Grady Saxman special.
It's got
But
that peach
if I
color.
heard
But it's like a ballad, but like in the second verse, you do that, and it's like changes.
Yeah,
the
you
whole
do it. You do
song.
it in several of Trey songs.
Yeah.
I have to do it. It's on. Give
Are
a
you
country
telling me
boy
to
a
stop?
call?
Yeah.
No. I just know. I know when you play
Celebrity
on the songs. Like he
Smackdown.
said, I can tell.
It's like when I listen to a song, I can tell like who wrote it. You know what I mean? Because like,
Right.
I have like
Everybody has their little signature.
everybody has-
flair.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about Saul, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
I mean, that guy's unreal.
Within 3 notes, you know it's him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that he's just playing the same 3 notes all the time. It's just he's got a style
Yeah,
to
he's
him.
got a
He's got a
style.
swagger
Yeah.
that you're like, that has to be Saul because no one else plays like that. Not saying that like, man, no one plays like Grady. I'm just saying like
But
I
nobody
just
plays like
regurgitate
that.
the same feels
Yeah, I mean,
all the time.
I cut a song the other day with Ben. He's doing some demo stuff for me, and Ben Miller, my guitar player, and
He's great.
but I was like listening to the song, and I was like, the only thing that can make this song better is if Smith Curry got on here and did his weird shit that he does. You
Something
know?
off the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like, you know, I don't know. From recording music for so long, it's like, you know what sounds you want, and you know where you can get them from. You know,
Yeah, it's a lot like, you know, as a painter, you know, when you're presented as a brand new painter with all the paintbrushes that
Yeah.
you could ever want, you have no idea what to pick. But
Yeah.
the more you do it, you know, you're like, this brush is good for this brush is good for this color will mix good with this. It's a lot like recording. The longer you do it, you know, this person mixes well with this person, this artist would go good with this mix engineer, yada yada. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all
I like when I come over to record with you, I always tell you who I want. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And we see if we can get them or not.
Yeah.
What's the better Saul? What's his
Nathan?
name? Nathan. Yeah, Nathan.
New Saul.
New Saul.
New
Yeah.
Nathan.
Yeah, because Saul gets busy.
Man, Saul's killing it. He's a busy boy. you
And his
know?
girlfriend Maggie, she's crushing it.
talented, yeah.
she's crushing it. So, what are your plans for Saxman Studios? Just keep going. You want people to call you, or better call Grady?
Give us
You
social
want-
security number.
No, you can find me on
you're good.
Instagram. if you need-
Find him, hit him up on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't have a website. You know, like all of my shit's word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth. Yeah,
Yeah, I kind of like it that way too.
yeah.
That, you know, because generally speaking, like if I work for you and you refer somebody to me, I know that I can, you know, they're going to be good. You know,
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you can just put it on me. You can just call me and be like, all right, not taking any more calls from Trey
it's a lot
Lewis.
different than just putting up a Google page and letting the world find you
Yeah.
and getting people from God knows where sending me
Yeah.
their songs that they need me to finish.
Yeah.
You know, writing.
Yeah. But do you say you want to move more into the producer role than? I mean, which you're already kind of there, but like you like producing more than you just like playing on a record.
I think for me, mentally, I have to have both
Yeah,
because I carry around so much responsibility in the producer's chair
yeah,
that it makes playing on sessions that much more rewarding
yeah,
to be able to just serve the
Just
song
play.
and serve the producer and the artist and go home
yeah,
and wipe my hands with it.
yeah.
So I like having a balance of it. I don't know. I mean, so this last year, 2022, was like the first year that me, Jonathan, Frank, Andrew have all been in-house working under one roof. And it's been awesome. So as things grow and become more seamless, it's kind of like, what more can I offer besides just a good recording at a good price?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my my head goes is like, what's the next step to
that?
What more can I offer to an independent artist? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That hasn't done this before, hasn't done it a lot, or doesn't have the resources or the capabilities to make that kind of stuff happen. You know, do the full rollout. You know.
Yeah. Do you ever miss playing like live shows? Just the energy from it? No,
not really. Not a whole lot.
That's like
it's fun every now and then.
Yeah.
Better food at home.
I did. You know, I went out and played with Hayden Kaufman the other day.
Did you wear at the over here
with Chase?
With Chase, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How was that?
It was awesome. You know why?
Why was that?
Slept in your own bed.
Well, yeah, there's that. But like, you know, Hayden's my boy. I was like,
Yeah.
He's like, what do you want? Like, what can I pay you for the gig? I was like, nothing.
Wow.
Don't pay me anything.
You're fired, Mcilwain.
I was like, just pay my cartage guy. Pay my cartage guy, so I don't have to set up or tear down or do any of the unfun stuff. I'll just show up and play drums.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
That was super fun. 30-minute set, easy.
Crushed it. You've already played on all the songs.
Yeah, which, you know, again, I have to go back and learn. But
but
you know, like that when it comes down to
did y'all
just
play Give a
doing
Country
that-
Boy a Call?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
They went over
Hell
good.
yeah.
That's great.
That song's great, man. I'm so glad you
I agree too. It didn't really pop off on TikTok, but like who cares? It's a banger.
Probably because I was shirtless in the music
Man,
video.
I hear a lot of music all day long, and I remember when Jacob showed me that track because I played on it.
Yeah.
And I remember it being like, I think this is a Trey Lewis pitch, and I was like, dude, he needs this. This is great.
It's great.
You know?
We love playing it.
And it worked out great that Hayden was a part of it too.
Yeah, me and Hayden have some like, well, you know, the track is like, it's a little fresh, you know what I mean? As compared to some of the other stuff we did.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had the song recorded for like a year. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But I was like, I could just throw Hayden on here.
It makes a lot of sense as like a pivot for you. It doesn't necessarily say like I'm changing my lane.
Yeah.
So doing the co-artist thing is like, it's perfect.
Yeah. And we have like a bunch, we have 3 shows coming up together. We're doing Third and Lindsley,
Bristol,
RIP.
Bristol, and
Cotton Eye Joe.
Knoxville.
Knoxville.
That'll be insane in Knoxville.
So we're just gonna, you know, come out and sing it every night together.
Hey, feel
So
free to
it'll be
come to
fun.
Third and Lindsley show. I'll throw you up on some songs.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Mcilwain alone.
I remember when you played with Riley Green. I was jealous.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
Did
for a
Ben
little
call
bit.
you for that or what?
I think Ben did call me for that.
Yeah.
And Quinn broke his arm. Is that what
Yeah.
it was?
Quinn broke his arm.
Yeah, he broke his wrist.
Punching Ben.
Punching.
Yeah. Hey, Ben's a big guy, man. I wouldn't want to punch him. But I did that for a little bit. I've done a lot of sub stuff.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like it's more fun.
You just get a taste and you're like, no, I'd rather just start bands and quit them.
It's more
That's the funniest shit that's been said all day.
it's more fun to just to go it's more fun to just go in as the new guy knowing that like no one's gonna like you off the rip, and it's like your job to become friends with everybody and put on a good show.
Yeah.
Like the other guy never left.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's challenging. Where I get bored is playing the same songs.
And the travel and being away from home.
Yeah. So going in and doing a fill-in thing, I love. I just like a nice little challenge.
Yeah.
You know?
What's the best catering that you've had on the road?
Rascal Flat Store.
Oh, hell yeah. What was it?
Everything.
Just everything.
It was literally
Every night.
everything.
That's literally all I care about.
Who were you touring with then?
I was playing with a band called Sweetwater Rain, who was signed to Curb
Yeah.
at the time and
During
managed
the
by
curb nights?
Yeah, they were signed to Curb, managed by Herb Graham.
Okay, cool.
And shit, that would have been probably 2013.
Nice. So
But it was them and the band Perry.
Oh yeah. Nice.
And that catering by
Before they started making pop music.
when they were still doing their country stuff.
Yeah.
But that was by far the best catering ever.
What kind of music do you like listen to? Like, what kind of music do you actually like? Are you just not listening to music? Like
No, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not like man, I fucking listen to music so often that I just listen to talk radio and sports. No, not that. I listen to, shout out to my wife. She has a great taste in music, and she listens to a lot of cool, like indie rock stuff.
I'm interested.
Yeah. A lot of times, like when I'm in the car, I'm working or I'm with my family. So when I'm with her, it's normally like, she's always spinning stuff that's new, you know, like, like she was into Corey Kent, like way before he blew up, you know, she was into Tyler Childers. I think she was like number 3 in the nation, like most streamed Tyler Childers
Oh wow.
fan. Yeah.
Wow.
And all, she gets into all this stuff like kind of before it hits. And so a lot of the cool stuff that I like, I kind of learn from her. And then when I'm not, with her, like with my family, if I'm just listening to stuff, I try to go through and do like what I call critical listening. Yeah. Listening to stuff that's coming out on playlists, like on New Boots. And, it's kind of my job to stay relevant and know what's out there. So I listen to a lot of country music and I do enjoy it. I do enjoy country music. And if I'm not listening to that, it's like Pantera. Yeah.
I love Pantera.
Or like throwback 90s rock.
Are you a Nickelback hater? Because I think they're badass.
No, not at all. Like,
I mean, who cares about the new stuff? We just want to hear the hits.
Rockstar.
You can play like For All the Wrong Reasons record, start to back. And I would go there.
Was it Burn It to the Ground record? I like that one too.
I checked out when they put out Something in Your Mouth.
Yeah.
That was when I checked out. It was like, it's like Porn Star Dancing came out. Yeah. Whoever did that song, I don't remember. And then it felt like everybody was just trying to be vulgar. Yeah. And I was like, in Nickelback for whatever reason, like, something in your mouth. I was like,
what's that other one they did?
I was like, I don't know. I think I'm out.
What's that one the other one they did? Because they made a music video. I think it was called This Afternoon or something like, I have to look it up. But
hey, funny. If you ever want to hear, you remember like the song Rockstar? Yeah. They did a what's it called? A sailor, a sea shanty. It's like as if pirates were singing it. Oh, that's funny. And well, if you want to go down and be a big rock star, living drinking 15 cars.
That's funny. You gotta check that out.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's awful. But it's real.
That's awesome.
They did a pirate song.
Check that out. I have to listen to that next time we're over at your house.
Oh, dude, I got a whole Dropbox folder full of gold.
Yeah, you also have the Kip Moore sounds on your.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if people are supposed to know about that. But
that's funny. I think everybody knows about it.
What happened was I lost my voice one day. Yeah. And I was real raspy. And they're like, you sound like Kip Moore. And I had just done like some demos for Cole Taylor, and somehow he had like a Dropbox file of just all of his like all of his yeahs from a vocal session. So I just chopped them up because my voice at the time sounded like real raspy like that. So I'd be like, hey, Grady, do you need the bridge? I'd be like, yeah. Just press the button.
I'm dying. That's funny. How did you meet your wife?
I met her playing with Jared Ashley.
Nice.
At the Floribama.
I thought you were going to say like Tinder or something.
No, this is before dating apps.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Floribama. There's Hope.
Yeah. Her name is Hope.
Oh.
Well, my wife's name's Hope.
Oh, that's fun.
But I met her in Florida. I was playing a gig. And
you're like, I'm going to marry that girl.
No. I was like, hey, we were staying at the band house across the street. I was like, what are you doing after the show? She's like, nothing. I was like, you come hang out at the band house.
Come make out or something?
Yeah. She's like, okay, yeah, I'll come. And I'm like, over there just by myself because I'm waiting on Hope to come. Yeah. Never would come. Damn. 3 nights in a row. Stood me up. Just cock blocked me.
Damn.
Right? Then I come to find out, I found out she's from Nashville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Just met her at the beach. Just a girl, in the crowd. Just hit it off. Yeah. And this is actually kind of an interesting story. I was going on a double date with my buddy, and my buddy, his name's Chris. He's kind of unreliable, and when it comes to like giving you accurate information. Yeah. He's like, hey man, I'm going on a double date with this chick and her like 2 hot friends. If you want to come, I was like, yeah man, that sounds cool. Like I'll drive over. So I'm riding with Chris in his minivan. I get a call from both my parents. They're like, we're getting a divorce. I was like, this is heavy. Like I'm on my way to this super hot double date right now. Like, can we talk about this tomorrow? Like I don't have the headspace to like talk about this.
Did you know that it was at a blind date, or was just like you knew it was Hope?
No. Okay. This is different. This is different. This is after I met Hope. I tried to hang out with her a couple nights at the Floribama. She kept standing me up because she had to go home. Yeah. She was out there with her parents. I mean, we were 23 and 21. So I'm going on this double date. I'm sitting down. It's like ML Rose or something like that. So, or it might have been in 12 South tap room. And me and Chris are sitting there. We're by ourselves, and his girl walks in, and she's really hot. And I was like, oh, this is cool. normally like hot chicks kind of hang out together. So I'm assuming like her two friends are also pretty hot.
The grenade.
It was worse than that, dude. It was worse. It was two dudes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
She had some friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two guy friends, and they were really into each other.
Yeah.
And so it's like those two dudes are just chatting away, and then Chris and his girl are chatting away.
And you're just
My
like,
parents
well,
are getting a divorce, and I'm
yeah.
at this bar drinking by myself, like total fifth wheel. And I was like, oh yeah, there is this girl Hope that I met
at the Floribama.
at the Floribama. She's from Nashville, so I texted her. I was like, hey, what are you doing? Can you come pick me up? I rode to this terrible double date with my friend Chris, and it's going awful. She's like, well, I'm dressed up as a giraffe right now. So she worked at Toys R Us.
Fuck me too. Which one did she work at?
She worked at the one in
Rivergate?
White Bluff.
Oh, dude, I worked at the one in
Or
Murfreesboro.
probably Dixon.
Dude, I worked at the Murfreesboro one. I worked there 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Damn. That's
So
crazy.
she's like, well, I'm just getting off work. Let me change out of my
Jeffrey.
costume. I'll come pick you up.
Jeffrey, baby.
So yeah, that's how we.
Did she pick? So she changed.
Yeah,
Of
she
course
wasn't dressed as a giraffe
giraffe.
when she picked me up.
That's awesome.
Dude, I got all the old Toys R Us shit at home. I'll have to
it's
send
a
you pictures when I get home.
It's a shame that that
Connor's
place is
having
gone.
flashbacks right
Yeah.
now.
Dude, I wouldn't be here without Toys R Us, honestly. Because I moved to town to go to MTSU for audio production, and I couldn't afford in-state tuition, so I had to work full-time and go to school part-time for so many semesters. And then after, I was like, well, I just can't afford to live, so I'm just going to work here pretty much my whole time in college. Pretty much worked there right until they closed pretty much, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was a giraffe.
That's awesome, Jeffrey.
And you've been married ever since? Y'all got a kid? Y'all gonna
Yeah,
do us?
we date. I mean, shit, we dated for probably 3 years and
Yeah.
got married in 2016. Had a baby in 2020. He's 2. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's
He
fun.
looks just like you, dude. It's insane.
I'm thankful.
Yeah.
No, there's no denying his lineage.
Yeah. And he has a drum kit.
He has a
that's
drum
like
kit.
souped up.
I got him an SJC kit.
Yeah. It's like super nice.
It's like it's a
It's
legit
nicer
kit.
than your drum kit, Mcilwain.
Hey, you back up. I got a DW kit. We're good.
It's pretty nice, man. It's a real kit. He's a little small for it, but
He'll grow into it.
he's growing into it. He can kick the pedals now.
Nice.
Does he show interest in it? Or
Oh,
what?
yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Oh yeah, I think he
It's like,
likes
my
it.
kid is playing drums. I don't care if he doesn't want to or not.
No, I don't, dude.
Yeah.
I will not pressure him into playing
Yeah.
drums because I love that drum kit and I'll take
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I'd love to have that at the studio. But no, every time he plays it, he gets a lot of attention. So I
Yeah.
think that he's just like, and then we're like, yeah, good job. You know, he hits something. We're like, wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So he loves it.
Yeah. Are y'all gonna have any more kids?
I don't know.
Chilling a while.
We're going to chill for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're just now, I don't know, anybody that's parents, they kind of get it. It's like the first year is just insanity.
Yeah.
Then the next year is like not so bad, but like he's a little over 2 now. It's like, wow, we're actually kind of doing what we used to do before kids, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like kind of nice to get back to that.
Do you ever hire a babysitter, like have date nights and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as we can.
So you work, dude, you work probably, we all work hard, but you work a lot, like just like a artist or songwriter does. What do you do to just kind of recharge?
I don't work on the weekends.
Okay. That's nice.
I call it. I don't work Wednesday after 5 p.m. either.
Okay.
So I set aside like no-go zones.
Okay. That's
Then
good.
everything else is kind of like free reign. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it. It makes you kind of feel like let's make hay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be here on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be here on Sunday. So I'll work super late on a Friday.
Every now and then you'll do a weekend session for never?
Nope. Won't do it.
Not even for Blaine Rudd?
Nope.
Nice.
Nope. I think the last weekend thing I did was for Tenille Arts in 2021.
Oh, nice.
And it was a holiday weekend. So it was a 3-day weekend. So I just spent the first half of one of the days working, and then I drove to the river and had, a proper
So weekend is Saturday, Sunday, or what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut out early Friday.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
but not if I have stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I have a little office at the house now too, so I can work from the home as
Yeah.
well. So if I'm not tracking, if there's not like actual human bodies that need to be in my studio, sometimes I'll work from the house.
Yeah, I
and
bet your
kinda
power
help out.
bill at Saxman Studios is just through the roof, huh?
It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
No.
Yeah.
No, the water bill is more.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Everybody flushing
Everybody
the toilets,
shitting
dude.
over there. Yeah. Yeah.
What time does your day normally start?
Normally about 8.
Not too
then-
bad.
No, but that's because I dropped my kiddo off at like 7:30. My daycare's right next to the studio too.
Oh, nice.
It's convenient. So I have him in the mornings. So I'll get up, get him ready. I'll be at the studio by 8, and then, I've had weeks where I'll put in 80 hours.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday with still taking Wednesday evening off.
Wow.
So sometimes it's 16-hour days, and sometimes it's not.
And you take vacations periodically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it changes when you have a family too. It's like you just don't want to.
Gotta go make some memories sometimes. you know?
Totally, yeah. You can't just be buried in your work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's less fulfilling, I think, too. When you know that there's like 2 other people like waiting on you to get home.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I get those quarterly checks, sometimes I'm like, dude, why do I even do all this? I'm just going to live off this money and just go fishing.
Go fit. You buy a boat, man.
I do have a boat. I bought a boat, and I also just bought a fishing kayak, which is badass. I took it to Percy yesterday.
Do you have to paddle that
Awesome
thing?
boat. No, dude, it has foot pedals.
What the fuck?
Oh, you bought a paddle boat.
No, it's. I'll show you a video. It's called a Hobie 360. It's like,
Hobie, one Kenobi.
That thing has
Yeah.
to cost more than my car.
yeah, I mean, it was about the 15K range.
Okay,
but
yeah, it costs more than my car.
It's expensive, but it's badass. Has a little motor on the back.
Is that your new hobby?
what
Fishing.
Oh, that's always been my hobby.
I feel like you've picked up dramatically since you started hanging out with Will at the studio.
Probably now you can afford it
no, I
more.
mean, I was fishing a lot before that. I mean, I've always pretty much been a fisherman.
Michael said no.
Yeah, we've
I mean,
we've been going like hell. We did it during not so much.
we used to
during
fish
COVID,
over at
but,
Macy's Friends Pond and all
Yeah,
that
he's
stuff.
still,
I mean, I've
he's still
fished.
salty about that
I've fished my whole life.
because I caught that big one. He was throwing against the bank, and I threw out in the middle just to.
But I will say this. Go ahead.
I caught that one that was like
Oh, yeah.
a 5 or 6 pounder, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
It wasn't that big. It wasn't 5 or 6 pounds. It was probably 3. But last time we went, he was catching all the big ones, and I caught an 8.2. So I've got him beat on the PB. But anyways,
Yes, he's got me.
long story short, I've been fishing my whole life. It's like my favorite thing to do.
I felt like I was like, man, he's hanging out with Will a lot. Look at him out there fishing.
But I will tell you this: Will is probably top 3 best fishermen that I know in my life.
Top 3.
Who's the
Yeah.
other 2?
It would be Dean, which is my fishing guide when I go to Florida, and I can't think of the other one. Right
He's
now.
top 2 then.
He's top 2 then.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
You're like me. I'm the first one. I'm the
first
best
one.
fisherman I
Yeah.
know. I know myself pretty good.
I mean, there's a few people that I have in mind, but I don't want to piss anybody off, But Patrick McCarty is probably be.
I
one
say
of the
burn
best
some
ones I
fucking
know.
bridges.
Yeah. Anyways, man, I think this has been a cool podcast. I mean, I don't feel like we're really promoting anything. You know what I mean? You got plenty of work. I mean, I'm sure people are going to hit you up to do it, but I think it's been cool. We've been friends for a long time,
10
and
years.
10 years,
Yeah.
It's crazy to even think about it, and
And what's funny is like I think especially between me and you, it's I've ended up somehow or another on almost all your stuff throughout a 10-year.
one way or the other, whether you produced it, whether Josh Bright produced it, whether Nolan produced it,
But
whether
also, like,
Nashville.
it was never one of those things that was discussed. It was never like, I need Grady to be on my stuff. It happened.
It just happened. Yeah.
Just happened to end up on all your crap, like
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
And you're like, who's playing drums? Like, oh, it's Grady,
Yeah. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
kind of, I've always enjoyed that about like our story is
Yeah.
like, no matter like who you were using,
Yeah.
Whatever producer you were floating through, it's like I always somehow ended up
Yeah.
on your stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Man, I love, Nolan, and we can talk more about Nolan because Nolan's was I feel, Nolan passed away, for those you don't know.
I wasn't sure how much of that you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, he
Get
died
on
of a
the-
heroin overdose. I mean, let's bring awareness to it. It's a real thing,
Yeah.
addiction is. But, he really is responsible for a lot of the way I am as an artist, and a lot of the way I like my stuff to sound sonically. Because he was like my first guy, and
Also on top of that, I mean, he was extremely good.
he was extremely good.
He was
And
extremely good.
extremely talented.
And that was the only thing that ever held him back.
Yeah, was his mental health stuff.
Mm-hmm.
all that.
But you got like for your first producer, you got like the kind of the cream of the crop in a weird way.
In a weird way, yeah.
Like you got exposed to, because he got to learn from a lot of people in LA over when he was signed to Capitol or whatever it was, RCA, and he was such a nerd when it came to audio, and his Nashville native, grew up around it. Dad played, mom sang, so. For that to be your first producer, I mean, he's kind of setting the bar pretty high.
I mean, dude, he believed in me when nobody did. Him and this guy named Aaron Lee. Aaron Lee's like one of my best friends. We write songs together even still, and we talk on the phone. And like both those guys like believed in me so much way before, when I still had like fucking this thing and these sideburns.
I remember that. I remember that Trey, dude.
Yeah. And, just like fat and, moved home to get married and, all that stuff. But I felt, it always, but, as Nolan's kind of mental health started to deteriorate over the years, I had to like find something else because I wasn't just going to quit playing music because my producer was like mentally ill, So I was just like moved to Josh and then moved to, and then when I moved to Nashville, it's like me and Maxwell became friends, and I was like, "Oh, cool! You got a studio in your bedroom. Like, let's make some music together."
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's been cool, but it has been cool that, you've always been somebody that I could call to like bounce shit off of, musically or whatever.
Totally.
So,
it's just a bizarre way the world works.
Yeah, all those full circle moments.
For whatever reason, it seems like our planets have just always kind of orbited each other in a very natural way.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to get ready to make some more music together.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Go platinum, baby.
I got like fucking 30 songs that you played on that.
This year.
This year.
I know people are like, you working on any of that Trey stuff? I was like, I think we might have cut 30 songs
We've
this
already
year.
done it. Yeah, we've already done it. Now we just got to decide what goes where. And
we had a good meeting about it today, so.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but
how do you even cherry pick from 30 songs?
I don't know.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I mean, I think regardless, I don't like, my thing is I don't ever want to be that artist that just like has a bunch of songs that he never put out. You know what I mean? So in some form or fashion, they will come out at some point.
It's kind of fun because you get to be creative with all this extra content.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have this unreleased music that it's like, you could put it on a floppy disk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could do something
NFT.
crazy.
Yeah.
You could do, whatever. You could send people on a scavenger hunt to go find a CD and let them leak it.
Yeah.
On Napster.
That could be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You do anything fun, It's like you got all these
Grady
songs.
for the TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. That's
Where's
cool though.
Waldo?
Yeah. Dude, you can make your own Pokemon Go app where they have to go to a specific location and get
search through it.
Yeah, and they get one song every location they go to around Birmingham. They have to go to Birmingham.
Yeah, I need to get a little
down the wrong way in the one way.
I need to get a little more famous for that. Fanatic.
No, but that's just cool though. And
have you listened to the new Hardy stuff we were talking about earlier? Just so great, right?
It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
It's unreal.
What's it? The one about the crow.
The what is it? The Mockingbird and the
Mockingbird and the Crow. I was into it when it was just the first half,
And then it was like, holy fuck.
And apparently, from what I understand, that's where
who plays drums on that stuff? Is that like a program thing?
From what I understand, I would, if it was a human, I would assume it's Jerry Rowe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I think he does a lot of the big loud stuff.
Yeah.
But
if it's a human,
I think it's Jerry Rowe.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, half the record is country and the other half is rock, and that is where it pivots.
Yeah.
And so it's essentially what's the last country concept record you've heard of?
Maybe Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah, but it wasn't commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
It did well. I don't want to say it negatively, like it wasn't
Grammys,
commercial. Yeah, but like it wasn't like
radio.
It wasn't the radio country format. That Hardy is.
Well, I think the cool thing what he's doing is like he's on this record. He could have a number one at country radio, and then he can have a number one at rock radio, and that's how rock's gonna come back.
I mean,
rock's already
look at Jelly Roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you had him on here?
No, I haven't, but I was on his wife's podcast. That was funny.
I think it's true, but like at one point Jelly Roll had charting singles on country, hip hop, and rock charts all at the same time. He does it all, man. Yeah. It's crazy. But I think
that proves my point that music is all just going to be one genre one day.
It already is. Yeah. It's just the lyrics that make you country. Yeah. That's it.
Exactly.
But I think it's probably a good thing too for country because traditionally it's held a much smaller portion of the market.
Yeah.
So with guys like Hardy and doing this rock breakover stuff, I think it's just opening up country even more, just like when Dan and Shay was breaking off and doing the pop stuff and Taylor Swift went pop and opens up the country market to
a lot of, like back in the Florida Georgia line era, like a lot of the old rock guys came to country. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now I'm
talking about specifically guys with mohawks.
Yeah, just like, a lot of the players, that played in rock bands came
It was a lot of like the Warped Tour guys. They're like, man, I'm tired of riding around in
Jake
vans.
Rose, that's like prime example of somebody that
they're like, we get to shower every day and ride in a bus. Fuck
man.
Man.
Shower every day.
Count me in.
Or that Justin Holt shirt for 3 days.
Dude, that's if we're in a bus next week, I'm out with y'all. I'm gonna change more than once.
Good.
You shower twice a week, whether you need to or not.
Yeah, it's about it, to be honest. Unfortunately, unless I have a date.
It's not good for your skin to be in the water for that long.
Like, dude, that's what I'm saying.
It'll dry you out, man.
But like I grew up listening to 90s rock, you know what I mean, like Puddle of Mud and all that stuff,
Saliva, Stained,
but that kind of music hasn't really existed in the most recent years, not like on a commercial.
I would say it probably died in 2004 when the Warped Tour thing took off.
And then I feel like now it's gonna make a comeback.
I mean, Hardy's.
Dude, do you know what it's like turning on your local radio station and hearing Ball with the Ball? You know what I mean?
Are they still playing it, or are you talking about back in the day?
I'm just talking about when I was 8 years old. My mom was in the tanning bed, and I was like in the car, and I was like, "What is this?"
Dude, we used to have a beach house down in Texas. The beach was Bolivar Beach. It's like not a nice beach. Yeah, it's so not nice that you can drive on the beach in whatever vehicle. Whatever vehicle you have. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
You're not going to mess it up. But we would just drive down the beach with our windows all the way down. I remember being like a kid with my family, and my dad be blasting Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Just to see like people dancing to it. You know what I mean? It's
great.
Yeah.
Man, his live show is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, and then you get to tour with him.
Yeah, I got to go on tour with him. It's crazy. Well, dude, thanks for being on here. I really appreciate and coming on.
My pleasure, man. It's fun. I always enjoy getting to hang.
You're episode 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll take an even number.
Yeah. So thank y'all for watching episode 20 of the DM Monday podcast. And please like, rate, subscribe, whatever. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Give a holler to that blue collar boy out in the holler. Let him ride you out the city, around the farm, do some fishing in the dark, get you digging out the stars a little closer out here. No, if you need a little change of view, you wanna see how the down home looks on you, light it up, he'll be gone. Just give a country boy a call. If you wanna see what you hear in them country songs, wanna watch a harvest moon hang all night long, if you wanna stick them high risers in the rear view, he's got a cross hanging from the middle one. All you gotta do, just give a holler to that blue collar boy out in the holler. Let him ride you out the city, round the farm, do some fishing in the dark, get you digging how the stars a little closer out.